As I've combed through the interwebs looking for awesome plant-based meals, I came across a meal called mujadara that's based in Egypt. And it's this flavorful rice and lentils dish with a bunch of delicious seasonings that you can put yogurt on top of, or a plant-based yogurt on top of. And we've always just loved it. Fast forward a little bit more, coming to Tanzania, I made this for Joyce, who helps us in our home and we absolutely adore. Oh, she's wonderful. Well, she told me here in Tanzania, they call it Mseto, and they put Katchumbari on top of it. I'm gonna show you how to make Mseto in Katchumbari, or you can also call it mujadara. First, I'm going to make a stock. So I'm taking 5 cups of water and I'm pouring it into my large stock pot. Next, I'm gonna add in 2 to 3 bay leaves. Then I'm gonna take about 4 to 5 cloves of garlic and I'm just gonna smash them up a bit. I don't have to get perfect about this, but just enough. I know someone who really loves to do this. But I'm taking my smashed garlic and adding that in. Then I'm gonna take 1 tablespoon of cumin and add that to my stock as well. I'm going to make sure I get in about 2 teaspoons of salt, because we wanna make sure all our rice and lentils are really well salted. And then finally, a good couple grinds of garlic, or excuse me, a good couple grinds of pepper. All right, while we're waiting for this to heat up, I'm gonna add in 1 cup of rice and just give it a little stir around. Now, once this starts to simmer and get a little bit bubbly, we're gonna let this cook for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna move on to adding our lentils. All right, once my pot is getting a good simmer, I'm just gonna turn down my heat just a little bit and put on a lid so all that water doesn't get out. While we're waiting for the rice to boil for that 10 minutes, we're gonna start making up our Katchumbari. Katchumbari is basically like a pico de gallo. The only difference is you can add jalapeno or not. I mean, and even some pico de gallos do that. So we're just putting together pico de gallo. Biggest thing I can say is make sure your knife is good and sharp, and make sure to take care of your knives. And then make sure to get about 3 tomatoes and dice them up pretty small and just get them in your bowl. Next, I'm taking about 1/2 cup of some finely diced onions and just adding that in there. Next, we'll squeeze in some lime and get that in there. 2 limes if you have it, 1 is fine. If you do have to do lemon, that's okay, but man, lime is preferable. If that's a small handful of cilantro finely chopped up, it's probably about 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons. Get that in there. Jalapeno to taste. I'm feeling spicy today, so we're adding a lot. We're gonna do some salt to taste, make sure that it has a good flavor to it, and then a good couple grinds of pepper. All right, lastly, we're gonna stir our pico de gallo Katchumbari, and we're just gonna get it all together. I can see that my rice is starting to get plump. Man, it smells good. And I'm gonna add in my brown lentils. It's about 1 cup right there. Give that a good stir. And then we're gonna let this sit on a low temperature for about 20 minutes and do it covered. But I'm gonna give this a little check just to make sure my water isn't evaporating too quickly. To me, it looks like it is. I'm gonna add in a little bit more. I'm not precise about how much water I'm adding in. Really, it doesn't matter too much. This is probably about 1 cup extra that I've added in. And I'm pretty sure it's just because my heat was up too high for a little. All right, once I take off my lid after about 20 minutes and give it a look, it should look kind of like this. My lentils look like they're pretty close to done. My rice is certainly done, but I'm just going to let it rest a little bit longer, put the lid on, and turn off the heat and fix up my onions. All right, I've heated up a pan with just a couple teaspoons of some olive oil, and I'm just adding in a bunch of just sliced up onions. What our goal here is just to slow cook these to get them nice and caramelized. So we're just gonna keep them mostly hands off for a while. But lastly, we're gonna fluff it up, and it's pretty great. I finished off everything else and we're just gonna go to plate.